All right, so look, man. ESPN. I like to say an extremely established sports station. It's been airing for a long period of time. I don't know how old y'all are, but ESPN is definitely older than me. It was launched in 1979. And if you're from the 90s like myself, or even the 80s, ESPN was around years before you. But longer story short, ESPN is old as hell, right? And we've become accustomed to it being a male dominant platform where men give their thoughts and opinions about sports. Now, don't quote me on this, but I want to say somewhere in the 2000s, ESPN started rebranding. Now, don't get me wrong, there were women reporters before then. It's just like men, women also like sports. You had Susie Cobbler. Is that how you pronounce her last name? I don't know. But she's a vet in the game. It says she's been working at ESPN since 1993. Now we transition into the Jamel Hill and the Carly Champion era. Me personally, wasn't a big fan of Jamel Hill. Carly Champion, she was decent. Wasn't a huge fan of her either, but I think I enjoy her more than Jamel Hill. But that's when I first started noticing the addition to more female hosts. We have another one who is personally my favorite female host on ESPN, period. Rachel Nichols. She knows her stuff. She's not just up there to be a pretty face or to try to diminish these NBA players' legacy and also image. And speaking of ruining players' image, we have one of the newest female faces that works at ESPN as a host, Malika Andrews. Oh my God. Horrible, right? Just on ESPN, wasting space and causing problems. She be disrespecting Stephen A. Smith, the most loyal person that ESPN probably has, and he's their moneymaker. They allow her to disrespect him in his face on his own show. Do nothing about it at all. She disrespect Kendrick Perkins, making it seem as though she know more about basketball than Kendrick Perkins, Richard Jefferson, Jalen Rose. She be trying to tell them what they don't know about basketball, what they don't know about the NBA. She's more privy to the NBA than them. What she says matters more than what they say, even though they play the game. Most of them are NBA champions. But because she's a woman, she feels as though she has more power and authority than them. And honestly, it seems like she does. Because they just got fired. But she didn't. Jeff Van Gundy was working for ESPN nearly 2 decades. It doesn't matter. Malika Andrews, she's more important to this establishment than you. Jalen Rose, Steve Young, the same for y'all, buddy. ESPN thinks she's a better option than y'all. They're completely fine with laying y'all off, but her, of course she gets to stay. Because who doesn't want to turn on ESPN and listen to nonsense all day? That was definitely sarcasm. No one wants to hear her. At least from my standpoint. Like, she brings no value to the network at all. I actually turn the station when she pops up. She's a cancer to the network. I'm trying to tell y'all, ESPN, listen up. Y'all are going to lose viewership. I get it. We in this feminism era. You want everybody to feel included. The girls get to come sit at the guys' lunch table now. The transgender women get to compete in sports against naturally born women. It's just like they want everybody to be included in everything. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here for discrimination or anything like that. As I stated earlier, Rachel Nichols, Carly Champion, it's some women sports reporters that actually brought value to ESPN. Malika Andrews just isn't one. And for them to be pushing her as much as they are, I just feel like it has to be some type of agenda. Equal rights, they're trying to include all demographics. But this ain't it. This is cancer to the network. People don't want to turn on the TV hearing her complain about something every single time. And for y'all to keep her on the roster over Jeff Van Gundy, it just doesn't make sense because the girl is a horrible host. But if she could finesse the bag out of y'all like that, more power to her. But I'll tell you this, unless ESPN wants the network to turn into some feminist station, they better get this together. Because when we turn on ESPN, we do that for sports update, sports commentary, not to hear Malika Andrews bashing black men. But that's the end of the video. How y'all feel about this? You can drop it down in the comment. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone.